everyone talks about hustle culture, more, 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 more. And listen, we're all about building and growing and evolving, but there's a maturity factor that happens in this game of wealth and rich, right? Because when we're 18 to 30 years old, dude, I just getting rich. I just want to get paid. I want to make money at, just build. We're building and building and building. And if you start at 30 to 40, it doesn't matter what age you start, but like your first 10 years are definitely navigating what rich means, getting the money to pay the bills. I was thinking about this, like, when's the last time I even had to worry about paying a bill? I'm talking like personal bills, right? Like, it's been a very, very long
Hmm.
time. So, so long I haven't even, I don't even remember when, truthfully. There's definitely was moments where I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pay staff and I can't, but I'm still gonna have a house to live in. I'm still gonna have a car to drive. I'm still gonna be able to feed myself. I never got to a point, for many, many years. I mean, there was when I almost went BK, I was sitting in a room, but eating ramen noodles, reading books, getting excited. But that shit, that was like 1997 or nine or somewhere around there. So it's been a very long time. And rich to me was always initially is like, how do I get money where I didn't have to think about paying a car payment, or paying rent or paying my house payment or whatever I had at that point. Like to me, that was rich, where I knew I had enough cash flow coming in. Cash flow made me rich. Truthfully, I don't know about you, but like when I started generating, I did a post a while ago, like 10,000 a month or 7,000 a month or 12,000, whatever that number is for the average person. For me back then, it was like 3,000 a month. My lifestyle was very small. And then, that creeps up as we evolve. But, let's say if it's 20,000 a month, you have 20,000 a month coming in if you work or don't work, right? I was driving the kids by one of the buildings I own, and I was like talking to him with my father-in-law. I was like, this building literally prints like 30 grand a month, $1,000 a day. If I'm sick, if I'm tired, if
Hmm.
I'm wore out, if I hustle, if I don't hustle, it doesn't matter. It generates about $1,000 a day per day. Dude, where I grew up, like that's like that's like 2 weeks of working 40 hours a week, trading your life, driving in traffic, not wanting to go, like dealing with people you don't want to deal with. Like it's like mind boggling to think that, we aren't thinking about this stuff as we evolve. And my biggest fear is people get into the game and they never get into position where they can actually enjoy that kind of moment,